Welcome home. Alright, so over the last few days, I've played a good amount of the Fasnacht parade event, and I wanted to make an honest opinions video on this to kind of gauge the quality that you can expect for future DLC, or at least the current DLC that's been added to Fallout 76, and I'm going to be completely honest up front, my thoughts are not positive about this event, but they're not extremely negative. I'm not going to be bagging on the event this entire video, so I want you to just sit through, listen to what I have to say, and then let me know your feedback down in the comments. So I've played well over 5 hours of solely just this event, and just to give you a quick rundown if you don't know what I'm even talking about, the Fasnacht Parade is a repeatable limited time event quest that will be available for only 1 week. It started on March 19th and will be ending on March 26th, so in 3 days. So yeah, I am a little late on this, but I've been spending a lot of time playing this. So this event starts off with you talking to the Master of Ceremonies, and then doing a bunch of stupid fetch quests essentially around town that are not hard to do whatsoever, not even challenging to the lowest of levels, such as killing some honeybees, killing a load of small creatures like squirrels and chicken for their intestines to give to one of the robots, choosing decorations in a simple menu, or going and gathering a ton of items around town and giving it to one of the protectrons. It's almost like a bunch of shitty fetch quests all in one small little location, smashed together all in one event. And that's not even the worst part of the event, to be honest. In my opinion, that's probably the most eventful, where you're actually getting things done. Once you've done all the preparation for the event, which is not hard whatsoever, in fact, it only takes a couple of minutes, and this is not something that is confusing to do, you will figure it out on your very first time. It's not like you'll fail this preparation phase, is what I'm trying to say. So after you're done preparing, what you then have to do is probably wait a couple of minutes because the event doesn't move along properly, and a lot of the time the robots just get stuck there standing preparing for the event and not doing anything, and then the event finally kicks in, the next stage, where you have to follow and protect the protectrons, kind of ironic there, whilst they're going through the parade. And during the parade, multiple times, the Master of Ceremonies decides to just shut down, and then you have to defend them from a few creatures for about a minute at a time. None of these creatures are really hard to hold off. In fact, not a single time of me and friends, or even me and friends watching other people do it and not even participating in shooting anything, there was not a single time, even joining in late, that we failed the event. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I'm just pointing out how easy this is. And I want to play just a few quick clips for you just to show you how boring and annoying this entire event is. So essentially what this event is, the majority section of it, not the preparation because you get that done really quickly, the actual parade section is honestly just really annoying. The music that the Master of Ceremonies plays while you're doing the event, the amount of people that are running around in power armor and just stomping all over the place, it's just an annoyance. That might just be me, but it just adds onto the boring and annoying nature of this event. If you've ever been annoyed in a Fallout or Elder Scrolls game, or really any game where you've had to follow an NPC and that NPC is slower than you, you're going to lose your mind during this event, because that's what this entire event is about, is essentially to annoy you. And I feel like Bethesda was kind of even hinting that they knew that this was going to be the case, because some of the robots reference to you having fun, or at least hoping that you're having fun. If it was BGS poking fun at how boring this event is, I like this event a lot more. And then finally, at the very end of the event, you all fight a 𝗦𝗍𝗧, which is kind of a lower level and not difficult to defeat whatsoever. In fact, with the lower levels, since there were always so many people at the event, the 𝗦𝗍𝗧 would die so quickly that the corpse would break and then nobody would get the legendary loot off of the 𝗦𝗍𝗧, which, let me tell you, after going through all that bullshit, really pissed people off, including myself. Not getting a legendary that you went through that entire long event for, and then at the very, very end, after you burn the effigy of Old Man Winter, you get a random mask drop. And here is my biggest problem with this event. I understand that they said exceedingly rare, but of my 5+ hours of playing solely this event and completing it 30+ times, if not more, I only got 5 unique masks. And it's the same 5 unique masks that everyone has been getting, because 5 of them are exceedingly rare. And the fact that I wasn't even able to get one of them, and I haven't seen a single person with one of them, that is where I see a problem. Bethesda essentially gave these masks, these 5 different masks, the rarity of CSGO knives, which for being a limited time event and even grinding out the event, being unable to get them just because of the massive RNG aspect of these drops, I wish they at least implemented some sort of thing like if you did the event a certain amount of times, like a lot of times, then it would give you the drop guaranteed. But there is no guarantee. It's 100% RNG and it's exceedingly rare. Like we're talking less than 1% chance of getting one of these masks. So you getting all 5 of these exceedingly rare masks, pretty much impossible. I'm sorry, Bethesda Game Studios, but when you have a really boring event and then you mix it with extremely rare items, that doesn't mesh well. Because you know for a fact people are gonna grind it over and over and over again, thinking that they're eventually gonna get one of those masks, but likely that isn't gonna be the case. No matter how long they grind it for, they'll most likely not get one of the masks. The fact that I haven't even seen one of these 5 masks from anyone with over 5 hours dedicated to just this event, I find that a little ridiculous. See, this wouldn't have bothered me as much if this wasn't a limited time event, but since it's a limited time event, you're essentially saying only the people that have extremely good luck will get the chance of even getting one of these masks, which I find to be pretty fucking stupid. It shouldn't solely depend on someone's luck on whether or not they'll get one of these masks to drop during the entire event period. That's just my opinion. I know some people will probably disagree with me, but I just find how exceedingly rare these masks are to be a little over the top. I wasn't even expecting to find one of these masks in the first 5 hours, to be honest. I was just expecting someone that I knew, someone in one of the games I was in, to find one of these masks. But it's always the same 5 fucking masks. And the thing is I also wouldn't complain about this if this was a really fun event. Maybe it's more enjoyable for the lower levels that are just hopping into the game, I don't know. However, there is one thing that this event does well, and it's something that I have to give Bethesda Game Studios props on, and it's something I really hope we see more of in the future of Fallout 76, was get a load of people, like pretty much the entire server every single time, to come together, work together, and be all in the same location at once. That was a really cool experience. However, what took away from it was how repetitive and boring the event was, how exceedingly rare most of the masks were, so it pretty much after you get those 5 masks, you might as well not play anymore. And 3, nobody engaged with each other. Most people were just off doing their own thing and probably sitting in Discord talking with their friends or just not talking at all. That's the problem with Fallout 76 is I feel like a lot of people don't want to engage with other people. There was a lot of emote spam, so if that's your cup of tea, I guess that's good for you. But I like to actually talk with the people that I'm playing with, not all just be dead silent. And unfortunately, that was the experience that I got my entire 5 hours of playing this event. There was very occasionally one person that would talk, and even when there was one person that would talk, nobody would respond to them except for me. Now, here's why I actually don't care about this event being bad and boring and repetitive and having really exceedingly rare rewards. The reason why I don't care is because it's one of these smaller pieces of content that Bethesda Game Studios is offering just during the wait period for new content. It's not like this was one of their big pieces of content that was supposed to pull people back to the game. This was just something to give players in the meantime while they work on other content, and that I'm totally fine with. It's better to get something while we wait rather than nothing. And the nice thing about the Fasnacht event is it came alongside pretty much with the brewing and distilling update, which also included all the patch 7 updates. And the patch 7 update was insanely large with a load of bug fixes. It also had some balancing changes that buffed some of the weaker weapons in the game. It was a very important update for Fallout 76, but it also wasn't the update that was meant to bring people back to the game, which is why, in the end, I'm not upset over it. I'm glad that this event occurred, and I'm sure I'll play it a couple more times before it ends, but unfortunately, I know for a fact I will not be able to get those last 5 masks, which is unfortunate because I simply just wanted to make a video showcasing all of the masks, but it looks like that won't be the case. But either way, that's my honest thoughts on the Fasnacht event for Fallout 76. I think it's boring, repetitive, grindy, and does not give you enough of a reward, but it does have the perk of bringing everyone together and getting everyone to work together, something that we haven't really seen in Fallout 76 before. So I want to know your thoughts on this event down in the comments section below. I always love to see what you guys have to say on the updates for Fallout 76. But that's it for this video. If you enjoyed, please smack that like button down below, subscribe to join the good fight if you haven't already, and ring that bell icon to stay updated in all of my future videos. It'd be super greatly appreciated as always. And until next time, this is 𝗦𝗢𝗥𝗧 signing off.